clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, people? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at the Koalition.com. And again, I'm joined by my boy, Kim Burt.
What up?
I was going to bring the horns in, but so many other places use the horn. It's been overused already.
It's a joke at this point.
Yeah, exactly, right? No way. Bill, that goes up. But hey, everybody. Welcome back. If you've been watching our coverage, we've already had 2 episodes, episode 1 and 2 done. If you haven't, maybe you should watch those, or maybe you don't give. You know, you're like, I don't care. Just go ahead, tell me, because I don't know if I'm really going to watch this. We've had one person, well, it was a few people on another show, Revival, that we covered early on. And I'm telling you, like, the number one comment was like, should I be watching this? You guys sound kind of hyped on this. Should I be watching this? Like, people were still on the, then it was like episode 6 and 7. Yo, should I be watching? Different people, okay? And I was like, this, all right, well.
Why are you here if you're not watching it? Not that I don't want anybody who didn't watch it not to go anywhere, but I'm
but you know what it is? It's because people are on the fence. They go on the fence with things, and they say something like this, right? If I remember, Revival had like 2 or 3 episodes dropped the same day. Same thing, same deal. So we got 3 episodes here. There's some people maybe that didn't want to invest all that, or they're like, you know what? Maybe I'll listen or watch something about the episode 1 and then go to 3 just to see, is it worth it? Just in case you're off and not too sure. But if you are on track and you're following with us, then you won't be lost and you know what's going on. And we're about to, we got words. We got some words to say about this episode, people. So real quick, thanks again for all the likes, the hypes, the subs. A lot of people that jumped aboard from Spartacus, House of Azure. That was our butter show. We loved it. That was great.
Fire.
That was a banger. We hope there's 2, 3, 4 spin-offs, everything. The serial, I want it all.
Boys, let's go.
The boys, yep. Fallout, we just finished that one as well. So now here we are. We're covering Cross. We said it. We're doing it. Good or bad, we'll see. Well, maybe not so much on the bad. It all depends. Let's see. We're really curious to see how you guys and gals out there, what do you think? The people that have just watched the show and people that are familiar with the books, because we've talked about this before, there's always a big divide, right? From the translation from the book into movie or film and all that. But also in this case, it's a little different too, because they're taking the characters, but the story is unique. It's a unique story. And then people have to remember that. It's a different story. You already know the triggers and stuff like that from episode 1 and 2.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen this happen, right? We've seen translations, book to show, book to movie.
Oh, yeah.
It can be done right. It can be done right. You know, I mean, the same channel with Reacher. Was it Reacher? No, not Reacher.
Yeah, Reacher. That was a book series.
Yeah, was it? But I'm not thinking him. No, Jack Ryan. The whole Jack Ryan story. That was great. That last season, if I'm not mistaken, was not book.
Yeah.
That was writers writing it. So it can be done.
It can be done. So just wanted to get some of that in there, because as we're getting into episode 3, just get your gauge. That's pretty much it, people. Put in the comments, how are you feeling? So let's get into this. This is Cross Season 2, Episode 3, Feed. All right, we start off with a flashback. Right, we saw the issues before with Cross and John. Oh, John, you didn't tell me. Why didn't you tell me about my moms and all that? All right, well, here we go. We see
about this. Yeah,
still pissed. Man, I don't think it should be all on him. He was a little kid at the same time. If anything, go after Nana. If you want to start getting all bitchy about somebody,
get mad at the adult in the situation, not your friend. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't know as a kid how to react.
Exactly. So we get Nana. We see that she's holding John's hand, bringing him into the house. He gives a smile. We see young little Cross. Little John, right? Oh, little John, right? Yeah, right. Gives a little smile to Cross. That's it. Happy go lucky. They were boys from day one. That's what that scene is there to tell us, right?
Yeah. Right? They've known each other since kids, right?
Right. Cross and John. We see that they're at the hotel. Cross shows up, right, at John's door. He's like, hey, we got to talk. I don't want to talk. They're getting ready to go to Texas. But it's back to this. It was like, yo, how long did you know? How long did you know? He's like, well, she came by the house. Your mom's came by the house once. She wanted to see you, but it was really not about you. It was about money. Nana wanted to adopt you, but she couldn't. If you know, people, the whole adoption, foster care process, it's complicated. I know people have gone through it, adopted, and tried to adopt, and it didn't work out. It can get very messy.
If the parent is around, they have to relinquish their rights to the child.
Not even that. Not even.
They're not trying to pay her for that.
Yeah. There's parents, and then there's family, extended family. Depending on the state, they will then reach out before even if, let's say, moms and dad can't do it. They're like, well, how about aunt, uncle, grandma, great aunt? Any bloodline has a right to step forward to lay claim if they want to keep families together. I see where they're going with this, but then at the same time, all this takes time. And this kid, and this is what all circling back, John was in the foster system for a long time. Right. And that's what Cross was trying to say. He was like, we tried. Nana tried to get you, but she couldn't. There was a lot of issues with the mom. Then the mom played Nana for a while. She was like, oh, give me $5,000 and I'll get some paperwork signed. And he took the money and ran. Didn't do it. Yeah. Right. So it wasn't a good look.
And I thought at this point, John was going to be like, wow, I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. Somehow emotionally make the switch. And yeah, he still plays after that. He's like, nah, I'm still pissed. And let's just go to Texas. And walk away.
because Cross was like, yo, if it was roles reversed, what would you do? He's like, I would have told you. And I would have picked up the pieces that fell apart after and fixed you up again. No, you wouldn't.
Always 20.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you were a little kid. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't say it. You're watching some Transformers and some, by the way, I know who your mommy is. What? That's what would have happened. But whatever. Right. So then now we jump over to Texas. Right. And we get Kayla in the car with Alex. They're talking and just BSing. She's talking about her dating life and the whole thing. And it's like, you just saw a horrible, I don't even know if we can say it on YouTube, but we just saw a horrible, worst Zoom conference call ever. Okay. Yeah. She saw that. And she doesn't even, it's like, whatever. Let me talk about my day. Let's talk about
really, it's only 24 hours later.
It's like, come on.
Between episodes, but it's really only.
You got all this stress. We had the whole thing going on with the mastermind and Operation Bad Religion, whatever. But the timing and some of the dialogue just doesn't flow with me. And to bring this up here, but anyway, they're all in. This is the coordinates. If you forgot, people, they found the coordinates over back in Chicago.
Back in one of those files, right?
Yeah, back in the files that can point to. I think it was on the altar that for Lincoln.
Because when he tried to escape from them and he blew the room up, all the paperwork got scattered. It was burning when they ran in. They saved some of it, and it was a longitude and latitude. Yeah. So they looked it up on Google. They Googled it, and they found it was in Texas.
And it was Texas, and that's it. So they're there. They have a local Texas PD. Is that when we get introduced to Agent Larson? Right?
Not yet. But
he's coming. But he's in the vicinity there, right? Because they're there. Now, Kayla gets a call, steps out of the vehicle, but then we get, and I thought they were going to go back to that. I guess wasn't a big deal.
She went inside, and that's that.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, she was a hot topic in the last, with the phones and all the stuff, as we just said. But no, this go around, it's not. It's more of like he's communicating on the walkie. This is Cross to John, who's in another squad car with another officer. They're talking stuff about some coaches and college coaches. If you guys are into that, you know it. I like sports too, but this was like, whoop, maybe this is college ball. I'm not too sure. But hey, go ahead. If you want to talk about it, put it in the comments. I'll look it up. But anyway, they're doing their whole thing. They're just talking about it, trying to figure things out about what's happening here, the situation, because it's still weird. They're not sure if they're in the right spot, right? Because that's the other issue here. They're all staking this out. They're waiting for something to happen, right?
There's a bunch of people milling around the gas station, not exactly looking criminal, but none of them look innocent either. And then some guy pulls up in a semi truck and at the gas pump and gets out and walks into the store, and without missing a beat, some other guy walks out of the store. They don't even say hello to each other. They just cross paths. And he goes and gets in the truck.
Yep. He goes to get in the truck. Now, the other sheriff, I want to say that's with John, says this is common. It's one of the things. They get it. These rest stops, droppers, long haul, they switch rides. They don't go the whole thing. It's like, that makes sense. He said, but they didn't even talk.
Yeah, but but without saying hello to each other, without exchanging information. Something wrong here.
Not only that, I would think also maybe you have a bag, you have something with you, that you've had.
No, it looked fugazi. So I like John's line here. John's like, I'll tell you what, I'll take you something wrong and raise you one. Is that guy in the orange hoodie the guy we're looking for? And sure enough.
All right, what was it? They gave him 3 names. There was Ramos, there was Espinoza, I think that's what it was.
No, it was Ramos in the beginning, and then he was somebody else, and now he's Lincoln.
And Lincoln. He's Lincoln. Yeah, we're sticking with Lincoln. The dude has 3 names. We'll go with Lincoln, right? Because Cross kept calling him that. So anyway, Cross, smart thing, make sure that his badge is visible, because he's about to pull a gun, in a public area.
He gets gun drawn.
He gets gun drawn, and he gets close.
But Lincoln's taking pictures of the truck. He wasn't there. I thought originally he was gonna hurt the guy that just jumped in the truck. He was gonna try and shoot him, kill him, whatever, hurt him. And instead, he whipped out a camera and he was sneaking around the gas station taking pictures. So Cross knew that it was a camera. He put his gun away.
Yep. Now, was this when Larson was taking the shots?
This is when Jerkface Larson jumps in, right?
Larson. For you people didn't know, in case you didn't recall the name, it took us toward the end of the episode to hear the name. But we got it, so we're going to shout it out now. So, yeah, Agent Larson is the one that starts booking shots over at
some
Lincoln.
Local agent,
causing chaos. The guy was like, what the hell are you doing? Come, stop this. But then that was the other thing. Then there's more shots, because then we see that the guy who got out of the car, out of the truck, had his other buddies that were in a pickup truck. They start booking shots. Now there's a whole shootout. There's chaos going on. Cross takes Lincoln, hides under one of the vehicles that's there. Right? I think it was the truck itself. The actual truck. The truck itself.
Yeah.
And he could hear that I don't remember if he saw them, but he definitely heard kids.
No, the Lincoln in Spanish was saying, "There's kids in there. There's kids in there. You got to help them. You have to help them." And so when they dived under the truck, he could then hear them.
That's what I remember. I was writing down. And
then there's gunfire going on, and then John and the other sheriff show up. Agent Larson shooting at people, and then they all kind of scrambling. And Cross and Lincoln get out from underneath the truck and are trying to get away. And some other dude walks out of the store with an AR-15 and is going to shoot them. Boom, through the back of his head, and it's Kayla. It's Kayla.
Yep. She drops him. Never thinks twice
now
about
she
it.
Shows up.
We don't even hear bring it up again, people. We're the ones bringing it up right now. That's it. She did that. There's some little things that we had issues with this, and that's one of them. Don't you have to do paperwork? Don't you have to disarm and give your weapon or whatever they have to check? I mean, gotta go party. But anyway, she drops them and said, "All right, let's go. Everybody on the chase. We're gonna go chase this produce truck." But it really
the truck takes off.
It's transporting people, and then Cross is screaming it out. Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, there's people. Oh, that sounds like a race car. What the hell? What was that?
It's a truck. It's a big semi truck. Come on.
Yeah, I guess so. They go, right? They're chasing the truck. It's all right. So they're chasing after this truck. Where are you gonna go? Now, people put in the comments, I knew people that were truckers, but I never asked them this question.
Any truckers out there? Yes, we need to know.
Let us know this, because as he's trying to get away and realizes he can't outrun,
he's swerving back and forth.
He's swerving. He unhooks his cargo. He unhooks the trailer and drops it. Can you do that? I could have swore you still had to get out of the vehicle. You
gotta stop, park, lower the legs, unhook hoses, then go in the cab, do something, then I call
I call BS on that. It's again, people, if you know, put in the comments. That was weird.
We're not truck drivers. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So then they go and I'm pretty sure they caught up with him and they got him, right?
I don't know. He took off. He dropped the rig.
Yeah,
and then he whipped on the side, and all the cops got out and opened the doors.
Yeah, so I don't remember.
I know they didn't chase him right away. You don't see him.
We don't see him, but I guess it doesn't matter because it didn't matter. Because once they go into the back, the cargo, they open up the doors. People start flooding out. Everyone's running for their lives, except there's one guy. There's one guy's in the back. He's holding a kid hostage. Right? Shout out to Roberto. That's his name. So he's holding him hostage. Now, Cross and John, they're trying to stay calm. You calm? Yeah, I'm calm. I'm calm. All right, we're going to talk. Everything's going to be fine. This is going to be great. We're going to work things out. Before they can, while they're doing all that, the typical stuff, Agent Larson, boom, boom, bucks a shot, drops the guy. They're like, what are you doing? What are you screaming? He said, what? We got him. It's done. That's it. John runs in there, picks up the kid, takes him out, and that's it. That right there made no sense.
Yeah, cheesy.
Because even the Kayla and them, they were like, what are you doing? How is this even legal that you just running guns blazing? There's a hostage situation. He was like, what? I got it. And, you guys are too slow and this and maybe you do things soft where you're from. He's got this attitude, and it just
it wouldn't have went down like that in real.
No. There's always, but this is it, right? There's always got to be one. And that's how this works.
They're making you not like Larson. This is
they're making us not like it, right? So all right, now let's just switch things up. We go to Mexico. We are with Vigilante Guy and Girl. Now we do know their name at the end of this episode. You know what? Maybe we should just start using it. It'll be ingrained in our heads, and for you people also. So Vigilante Guy is Donnie. Vigilante Girl is Lucy. Or Luce, but I'm pretty sure that's short for Lucy. If not, it could be Lucille, but let's go with Lucy. Right? So they're over in Mexico. This is the same town that her family grew up in, right? Her
she
mom
didn't know it though, so she
didn't know. She didn't know. She just knows there's a lot of shady stuff that happened over here with her family, and that there was a boy that made it out. Remember, there was that one that made it, and she was looking it up, and this is it. She wanted to find him.
This whole vigilanteism thing, and basically since the very first scene of this show thus far, has all been about her avenging all the little kids that got trafficked that her mom at one point tried to save and was killed in the process doing. So she's avenging her mom, and she's trying to save the kids, and she's tracked all this back to a town in Mexico where her mom used to work. And when she goes and says, I want to help the moms and the parents and the families of the kids that were stolen. And as she's doing that work with the community, some of the older ladies step up and tell her, we knew your mom. And she was like, what? What do you mean? And she goes, yeah, your mom, she grew up here. She grew up in this town.
Yeah. Because it was but it was just weird with some of this, because at first no one wants to talk. Right, and it's almost like they're scared, right? They don't want to talk about Frankie. She's looking for Frankie. No one cares. They go to their hotel and they're talking about it, and then there's a knock on the door, and it's one of the old guys that they talk to, and he's like, "Here," he gives a paper.
The Pilagua guy. It was the ice guy. He had an ice card, a mango card or something.
Man, I want some coconut. Oh, shaved ice. Are you kidding me? Oh,
and then nobody would talk to them in the village. They all ran every time she asked for Francisco, and they go back to their hotel. God knows where that is. And then this dude just magically appears at the door, knocks on the door, and he's like, here's a note.
You know why? He had to do a background check on them, and he realized they were on the up and up. They're cool now.
Right.
Well, then that's it. And he drew a whole map because they knew exactly where to go. And so they show up, and it looks like a slum / scrapyard. Right? He looked like he was on like some piles of cars or something with an AK, so he's pointing the gun. He's like, what do you want here? What are you doing here? Wait a minute. Your eyes, like your mother, it's like, I was like, oh boy. Man, you laid it on thick, buddy. It's like, but hey, that's it. It's Miller time. Now they can go and hang out. Now, she was like, yeah, that's my mom. And then there you go. So that was, I don't know. That's what the whole thing with the town and meeting with everybody, and he introduces the family. Go ahead, go with it.
Yeah, so she finds Francisco, the person she came to the town looking for. He's been off the grid for 20 years. He's got a whole burnt face and burnt arm, and supposedly the mom back in the day saved him. It wasn't even burned. The bad guys put his face in a machine that made meat. And whatever. He tells the story later. So they go from an AK-47 in a junkyard pointed at him to being at a quinceañera with everybody hanging out later.
Well, there was a party that was going to happen, and she was invited, But they're just trying to throw in something else with their story. Okay, we can go with that. But let's just get to what the case file here.
Yeah,
Right?
back to the case.
Back to the case. So then now we're in a room. So let's get this straight. We got Kayla, we got Cross, we got Larson, and we got Lincoln. Right? Lincoln automatically says what he wants an interpreter. Right? He's not going to talk to anybody unless he has an interpreter. He wants his native tongue, the whole thing. But then he gets real loose with the lips and just starts spewing all this other stuff about his life and about why he's doing this. Because Cross is asking, he's like, "Oh, about the kids. How did you know about the kids? How did you know? Well, this is what they do. This is them, and you're buying into all their stuff." He's just trying to play the mind games with Cross as if like Cross is blinded by all this, And of course, we got Larson putting his 2 cents. Sounds like a guilty person here because Cross is trying to figure out what's the connection with Richie, which is the one that was missing fingers and he's dead, and then Durant, who is the target. And he's sort of Lincoln sort of explaining it and then not explaining it, but going into, well, kids lose their fingers in machines all the time. So this is the same thing. They're just getting what they dish out to the youngings, and they're going back and forth. Yeah.
To me, this whole scene was about, again, painting Larson in a bad light. Because he says some racist shit when they
he says a lot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then he tells Cross, "You're the bad guy." Like, they were purposefully making him a jerk, and they were making Lincoln be a stalwart. And meanwhile, FBI agent sat there and didn't say a damn thing the entire interview.
Yeah. She's
letting Cross play tough guy.
Yeah,
Cross plays tough guy and throws Larson out.
Yeah,
so I took some. Just a bunch of posturing right there.
Mm-hmm. Let's listen to Lincoln say his piece.
Why are you ready to die, Lincoln? I don't matter. Not anymore. The light will avenge us all. The light, la luz.
And he's like, la luz, that means light, right? It's Spanish.
If everybody watched the first 2 episodes, you saw Lucy, which I'm not 100%, but you saw Lucy pray to an altar or something.
She was at an altar. Yep.
And then you saw a similar altar when they tracked down homie in the sewers, Lincoln, the first time, and the painting looked a lot like her, vigilante girl, Lucy. And that was what was written in graffiti on that mural, La Luz, the light in Spanish.
The light in Spanish. And it was funny too, because I thought they were going to do a cut, but no, that weird like gaze off in the distance happened while he was still there.
Yeah.
And that's when the Larson started coming out with like, "Oh, you're not doing a good job, you're soft, blah blah blah, and you don't even deserve that badge." And he was like, "Step to me, take it."
The whole conversation throughout this episode, and even in some of the last episodes and everything, it's all feeling very social commentary-ish. So you got a guy from Texas, the cop from Texas is trying to tell the guy from DC and the FBI agent that, it's that East Coast bullshit. You don't want to let it hold anybody accountable. It's all kind of feeling really contrived.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, it's done." No, it's not. Let's sit down. Let's keep talking, Lincoln. And then he's like, "No, I'm not going to talk. Now I want a lawyer." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Now you want the lawyer.
Now you want the lawyer. After you said all that other stuff. We get a pointless scene here, people. If you know, then you know, the Bobby tray with whoever this woman is. I don't know who this
he
is.
was getting his nails done and his feet massaged earlier in the episode.
And that's right.
It took like it was 30 seconds. It was literally a half a minute scene, and I don't even know why we cut to him.
That's right.
And then they're back at her house, I guess, and they're having sex. And that was less than 10 seconds. That's
right. That's right.
Cut again.
Now I remember. Yeah, it's right, because when Kayla stepped out of the car when he was talking to John about the coach and all that stuff, she did make a quick call to Bobby Trey.
And that's how you see him.
And then he was getting a petty and all that stuff. Yeah, he was doing all the taking care, and she just wants more. And the whole point of that is Ibrahim. She got him out of jail so he can go and track down Ibrahim,
which is the whole her thing.
With the bad religion case to figure that out, because all she knows is that apparently Ibrahim has the answers. Said her friend who passed away during the Zoom call. Right, so that's what's going on there. Now this whole thing with this vigilante stuff. Right, we get back over there. It's like, what's going to happen here? What is the point? So vigilante guy Donnie is basically telling Lucy, hey, you're here. This is where your family is. You know, she gets some flashbacks of when she was younger and the whole thing with the memories.
Mom,
the mom. She's like, all right, that's great. Listen, there's a party going on, right? It's a Sweet 15. Whatever. Go to the party. I'll deal with John, right?
Yeah.
Because that was one of the things that she did talk about on her phone, right? Paul, right? She's hunting down their next target is also in that area.
Right.
So she's they know like a time frame of when he hangs out at the stoop of his building or something like that.
He runs every night, and she was like, "Look, I tracked him. He makes the same circuit every night at 6:07. So he's going to be at the stairs at 6:08. So he's like, look, you got invited to the quinceañera. You go to the quinceañera. I'll handle Paul. It'll be okay. Go talk to your community. You know what I'm saying? Your mom's community." And so,
oh man, I don't know.
A lot of harping going on. A lot of harping.
Yeah, you know, it's like, okay, I get it, but let's keep this going. Like, what just fill us in more. We get the general idea is just what you said. We're hunting down these bad guys that hurt these kids. Okay, so then let's stick with that. And you're throwing in all this other stuff, and then we're gonna get even more stuff jumped in here. Because if I'm looking at my notes right, this is when we get to the bar. Right? Are we in that direction already?
Yeah, we very well could, because no one has to do paperwork, so they go out to drink tequila right away.
They don't have to do any paperwork, right? Because I'm pretty sure that was once they get, that's the next step. Right?
Well, we might have seen John and his girlfriend arguing about his mom's case real briefly, but again,
shout out to the girl, Malika.
I
don't think she showed up just yet, but there was a part with John going through the whole thing, because he was like, all right, well, he's dealing with all that, right? But let's get to this bar scene, because this was, who is this for, people? If you're fans of the books, and I think you talked about this, and we have other friends that read the books.
Addison isn't writing this stuff.
He's not writing this. They're hanging out at the bar. Right, she needs to. Well, they go in, and she says she needs to cool off about stuff in life. Doesn't want to talk about things going on. He doesn't want to talk about Elle. They go inside. She says she just wants to drink. Okay, she just wants to drink. They're gonna dance and drink. So we get a lot of dance and drinking. He's doing line dancing. It starts spreading out clearly over time, and he's now got his undershirt on and a cowboy hat, and he's.
Which I don't even know where he got the hat from.
Oh, no,
he just stole somebody's hat at the bar.
He probably did. People do that. They pick it up. Or maybe, hey, a guy could have borrowed. He said, hey, can I borrow this for the dance? Yeah.
Bro, cowboys do not give up their cowboy hats.
Oh, man, maybe
they don't.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They don't. You can't just borrow a cowboy's cowboy hat. That's some offensive crap.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. But he winds up doing that. And then, we know where this is going. That's the crazy part. We know where this is going. Why is it going there? It's the question. We're getting a lot of this type of action in this show. Is it needed? Does it make sense? Because if he's serious about wanting to fix things with Elle, then why is he focusing? But he closes that door. He says it when he's like, I don't want to think about Elle. I don't know what's going on with that. It's like, okay. And off they go. They start line dancing. They start doing their thing. And then one thing leads to another. They kiss. She pulls away. It's like, hey, it's time to go. Yeah, let's go. Get to the hotel. This is my room. Goes in, leaves the door open. That's the call, right?
Classic hotel.
Classic motel thing. But then also doesn't really have to take too much blame with all of this, right? He walked in. No, blame not that something bad happened, but like, let's say later on, he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm trying to fix things with Elle. And it's like, yo, you in there? Yeah, exactly. I didn't go to your room. You know what I mean? I didn't invite you in my room. You just walked in. My door closes real slow. And you just took that upon yourself, Mr. Man. And I was intoxicated.
That being said, I just want to say, this is all filler. So far, we have seen everybody's on the shows a sample of their sex life.
Yeah.
In every episode we've seen, including Bobby Trey, who I did not need to see him having sex.
We didn't see it. We didn't.
And to me, this is all just kind of filler, because there's a crime. There's two crimes we could be solving while you're giving us the brown chicken, brown cow. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at somebody for getting their hustle on, but still, it's a lot of filler, man.
No, as that. I mean,
and you steal that character's power because
well,
she was badass and she was holding Cross down. She was in charge, and now it's some weird dynamic. Now, good luck.
There was that. We also had a little bit of when John says that he had to leave right before this, talking about how he had to go back because he's going to deal with the whole mom murder case. Also, said, do me a favor. That Cross going to the detention center, seeing Roberto, showing pictures of his kids, and then saying, do you want to come and live with me?
He's good. He goes to the detention center and has a whole conversation translated from English to Spanish. And out of nowhere, it's like, I'm going to adopt you.
Yeah,
because John asked him to.
Right, I joked about it too. I was like, at first he was going to say, there's a picture of my family. And he said, he was like, oh, if I was missing a kid, I want to. I was like, oh, he's going to ask, where's your family? Can we help you? Do you know? Yeah. No, it's straight up, let me take you in. Come live with me. But I'm assuming and we both assuming because it didn't come up again, that's what John was asking him when he said, do me a favor.
He said, I'm going to ask you for a favor. It's a big one. And then they cut.
But here's a bigger favor, though. Because it's one thing to say, hey, can you go and find out if we could adopt this child? It's another thing. It's like, do me a favor. Can you, Mr. Cross, adopt this child? I'll come on the weekends, maybe every other weekend. I got to see what Malika wants to do. Oh, by the way, I didn't even tell her about that. This ain't even my thing. Can you just do me this solid and go and adopt the kid?
You are making me feel stupider as this goes on. I kid you not. Oh, my God.
None of this makes sense. Crap. No damn sense. I'm sorry, people. If you wrote this and you put this down, I'm sure they're like, yo, it sounded awesome on paper. But when we put it on the screen and we present it, yeah, maybe not so much. Well, because that just didn't make any sense.
There's vision, there's direction, there's sometimes the product, it doesn't translate. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this.
Man. That was
awkward.
It was very awkward. Talk about more awkward. We get a quick little scene with Trevor and Elle, right? They were at a dinner, hanging out. Trevor seems like a good guy, right? I think this is his name. He seems cool.
Poor Trevor.
Right? He's cool. And he's like, Trevor. You know what? My life is great. Everything is great. But you know what's missing? Someone like you. And I was waiting for him to sing some R&B joint or something.
Right. No, he was like, I don't have my Michelle Obama.
Right? Exactly. Right?
He thought he was smooth with that.
Exactly. He's like, I want you in my life and this and that. And then she was like, oh, yeah. He wants to take it to the next level. And then she gets a text on her phone. Exactly. Wait, what's going on? That's Jenny's school. Wait, who? Jenny?
Jenny.
Yeah, ex-girl. Yeah.
You heard it right.
And the way she just rattles it off like it makes perfect sense. Oh, well, I still want to be part of their life. It's been a long time. Just because I broke up with the guy doesn't mean I'm breaking up with the family. And I'm staying over there. It's just easier. Oh, is he there? No, he's away in Texas for work. And stuff. So I decided I'm going to stay in the house with the kids, and help out with the kids and stuff like that.
You're staying at his house?
Yeah. All this. I'm sorry. The way she said it, and she tried to make it seem like it's like, oh, this sounds wrong. And it's like, no, that wasn't wrong. What was wrong is what I did with him last week at my house.
Yeah. She wasn't saying that.
That was wrong. Yeah, maybe you think that's wrong. My bad.
That's called a good old fashioned gaslighting.
Exactly.
That's what that was.
It's like, but I don't have to bring that up. If you're upset with this, that's more than enough. Yeah, I don't need to bury a deeper hole for myself.
Right.
And that's the issue I have with this is because they try to make it seem like she's on the righteous path. You know what I mean? There's always one in every show. There's always somebody who's like, oh, I do things the right way. And this is it. And she even says it. Well, a lot of things which she does with Cross, but she's got that weak spot. Okay. You got that weak spot, but then maybe you should tell Trevor right there on the spot. I don't think I'm in this situation right now to make something serious with you. Let's just keep it how it is.
Trevor along, right?
Exactly. But you know what? I see this. You're all happy, and also this is great. But you seem that this is an issue with the family and the kids. This is a big part of my life. They cut it. They don't go there, and maybe it's too much dialogue. But I think it would have been it would have developed the character a little better for Elle if she would have just gave more context to the whole thing and then just put him in his place of how she sees their relationship. But again, the show doesn't want to do that. I guess they want to leave that open-ended, like, oh, is she, isn't she? Is she gonna go with Trevor or is she not gonna go?
I'd say there's plenty of time to do the character development, but we've already hashed that. So
yeah, because there was that whole thing with Roberto, and so now what's gonna happen with that? Don't even know. But anyway, we go back to it was two things that happened. We get John, he's back in DC. This is with Malika. Right. He's all flipping out about the whole thing with the mom. He's like, everything's pointing that she's guilty. Malika's been digging around in the neighborhood, found out, no, your mom's not that bad. She's bad, but she's not that bad. She went to the, whoa, you're not a cop, blah, 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 blah. Don't mind your business. In fact, get out. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving. Not leaving. They get into this whole emotional thing. And she's like, no, I'm just staying. I'm staying. I'm here for you. Oh, okay. That's a relationship? Is that what they're saying? They're throwing all these things out at us, and I get it. This is the personal life. Some people like all that in their cop dramas. They want all of that. They're real people too. It's part of real life, right? These cops have real lives. Yeah. But for the storytelling, I don't know if I need that. We're getting enough of that with Cross. I don't know if I need another
give me the main character. I don't need. I've seen everybody's love life so far in the show. Everybody.
Pretty much. I'm trying to think who we're missing here. Maybe
other than the captain of the police force.
There you go. That's coming. That's coming.
Episode 6.
Exactly. It's still coming. Right. Then where are we now? There was a lot going on in the next part here. Oh yeah, we get that quick call. Cross calls Jenny, and she was like, oh, everything is great here. Anything new with you? They cut that. We don't know, but I'm sure that's when he said, hey, you're gonna get a little brother soon, a younger one. He's coming. Oh, he doesn't speak any English either, but you know what, that new phone I hooked you up with, it's got a translator. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure you're working on your Spanish classes. Take some extra classes, or just take out the phone and then put that on the dinner table, and that's how we have our conversations. Let me see what else. What else we got here? Because there was a lot of jumping back and forth. We got a quick call with Kayla and her boss. Was kind of pointless because he was like, "It sounds like everything is going great, but remember, I have future plans for you, but I can't move forward until you clean up this bad religion stuff."
Right.
Okay.
Like, oh, you're doing a great job. You're going to be
today. Exactly, but that today isn't today. Once you get things cleaned up, and then it jumps over to Bobby Trey. This is probably one of the weirdest scenes in this episode. I'm sure some people that were listening or watch this episode, like, I wonder if they're going to figure this out. We're going to try, people. We're going to try, because we see Ibrahim. That's the target. Trey is in his house, just in his undies, in the kitchen with a big ass knife making a sandwich. What are you doing there?
Animal print undies,
right? Animal print undies, right? No shame on that. No shame. I think I have
no shame. Rocking the G.
Yeah. So Ibrahim walks in and he's like, "What are you doing here? Where's my mom?" He's like, "Wait. What are you? Don't come at me. You don't pay the rent here." And there's the mortgage. He starts going at him in a weird way.
All the time brandishing a knife, a kitchen knife,
a big knife.
You and the thing. Do not wake your mother.
Yeah, exactly. Don't wake your mom. Right? He says, you don't pay any bills here. I know what you do for a living. I know you make $100K a year, right? Yeah. All this stuff. And he's like, what do you want? He's like, this. And then he puts the knife down on the counter there, drags over a paper. He said, I need the files on that paper. And the guy says, I can't get this for you. I can't do this.
He can, but he said the people that they belong to are dangerous. They'll kill him. And he's like, yeah, dude. So will I. I'll kill you sooner. Get me the fucking files.
Very
nefarious. Very nefarious.
Yeah, and he's like, all right. And then he's like, all right, go. Get out of here. Go
wash your hands. We're going to
shoes him. Really? What's stopping the dude?
That dude's nuts.
He's crazy, but then what's stopping that guy from just calling the police? Just going upstairs. Hey, there's a guy in some leopard print undie in my kitchen. He can lock the door in his room. Right, he's up there safe with his mom, if his mom is up there. We don't know.
Yeah,
and the whole time, this scene is playing some really eerie, creepy music. So, in my mind, linking with the audio cues and with the visual cues, I'm thinking, Mom is dead upstairs, and there was blood everywhere, and that's why he's just in his undies, because it made a mess.
Well, he also made comedies like Ibrahim goes to yell for his mom, and he's like, don't do that. this kind of sleep takes a lot of work to accomplish. So that was a creepy comment, telling her that she's in some special sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
we'll see where it goes with that. If it does, I remember him from first season, but I don't remember him being that sadistic. Unless he did say he wanted to work with Fanboy. I remember that. Remember? He was saying that he wanted to work with him.
What did he go to jail for in the end? He worked with them. He helped him.
He did. He helped him. He helped him.
Right.
He assisted him with getting stuff like that. And so yeah, he is bad. So maybe they're trying to plant that he does have some of those tendencies, and that can come out at any point, So there goes that. Well, here we go. Now I see the whole thing with the bar. So I sort of jumped the gun with the bar thing, but it was just something I had to point out because it's such a big part of the show. It didn't really make much sense of why you sprinkling this in with the relationship. Because if you remember, Kayla also had a one-night stand with John last season. That happened. So I don't know. Where they're going with all this. She comes in the morning. She had some coffee. Well, she's gonna go get coffee, and he was like, "Oh, we were kind of drunk." Yeah, we were. It's like, "Oh, and that's it." She said, "Hey, we got it out of our system. We're good."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, are we?" This is him, Cross. Yo, you shouldn't be keeping any of these doors cracked open. You're still trying to figure things out with Elle, unless he's already just given up on her because she couldn't give him a definite answer. She's still taking care of your kids while you're here on this business trip. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm thinking that this show should be called Cross Hookup.
Cross hookup, right? Cross away, round the way. Oh man. Yeah, that was then I sort of jumped the gun with some of that stuff, but it was all right. It was just so fresh on my mind. Because then after that, that's where we get the scene with John hanging out with Malika, and they're dealing with that. Right. And so she's clear with all of it. Then we get back to Mexico. Right. This is where we get a little flip-flop back in Mexico because she's at the party. Vigilante girl, which is Lucy. She's there. She's hanging out with these people, right? Quinceañera. Celebrating, everyone's talking and happy. At the same time, we're getting cuts with Donnie, vigilante guy, and he finds his target. He finds
Paul running down the stairs. Yep,
running down the stairs. But Paul puts up a fight.
He does. He cracks him a good. I think he knocks Paul down, and Paul grabs one of those stones that were wherever he fell, and when he stands up, he cracks Donnie in the face with it. One way and then back the other, and then it cuts right back to the party.
Yeah, cuts back to the party. It's just hanging out.
Yeah, Donnie's getting beat up. Let's go see what's happening at the party.
Yep. So they're going through the back and forth. They're dealing with all of that, and then
I think it's some lady comes up to her, right?
Yeah, she says something about her mom.
I knew your mom.
It was a trigger, and then she was like, "Excuse me," and then she just gets up and she walks away. But then when she walked. Yeah.
She took her to the table, and all the ladies were telling her about her mom when they were all young, how she was the smartest girl in the town, and that she was always trying to help people even when they were kids. And
she must have been. She's the only one. She's the only one that left. Yeah. Everybody stayed. If they're all able to do that, I mean, we could say they probably came back to town for this party, but still.
Yeah. But it definitely triggered something in her, and she's crying, and she gets up from the decision, excuse me, and she walks away. At the same time she walks away, she gets a text from Donnie.
Yeah.
And you get to see real quick, Donnie does the deed. He stabs Paul, the bad guy. Yeah. Right.
And we get his name, and we see Donnie's name.
That's how we figured out the name. Episode 3 on her phone, Donnie.
That's it.
Now, and it was a picture of Paul all stabbed up.
I'm sure somebody's going to say, but we saw it on IMDb. You can't go off of that all the time. They change things up, and we wanted to stick with the show. We wanted to just address the name when it was mentioned in the show. We're on episode 3, and this is when it gets mentioned. If it got mentioned in episode 1 and 2, put it in the comments because we didn't hear it. Same thing with Lucy. I know she said her mom's name, that she's the daughter of the mom, and the whole thing in the opening scene when she killed Richie. But no,
Gabriella.
I don't recall her saying her
name. Like Gabriella. It's either the mom or her name.
It was her mom. She said because she said I am the daughter.
A daughter of Gabriella.
Gabby. Of Gabby, and then Gabby came up again. But so she sees that, and that makes her happy. At least she knows it's not a total bust. This whole thing. It's all emotion. Right. So while that is happening, we see that Chris. It's Chris. I can't believe I said Chris. Cross and Kayla, they get a call. Right. They find out that there was an issue with the transport of Lincoln. are like, oh man, what just happened? And we're all thinking the worst, right? Like that it's Larson. Because Agent Larson was like, yeah, Agent Larson was with Lincoln and there was a mishap and he escaped. Oh, they didn't say escape, but there was an issue at this location. So they head over there to figure out what's going on. And the other sheriff on the scene was like, all right, let's go. And they're like, great. Now this is what we have to deal with. The dirty cop kills, our witness and all things like, what? No, that's not what happened here. And they show the body and it's Larson that's dead. Dun, dun, dun. There's a twist. There's a twist. All right.
So Lincoln got away.
Yeah, Lincoln got away. We didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Well, that also messed up Kayla because she was trying to get information from him that was going to save her butt from the FBI and everything else. So this is bad for her.
Yeah. So it's like, oh no, now what? So it brings up a lot of questions with that. So we'll see where it goes. But then we jump to the final scene of the episode. We're in Florida. A lot of jumping around, right? So we've seen DC, Florida twice because Texas. She was here. This is the aunt, right? With Texas, Chicago, because they briefly went to Chicago last episode, right? So anyway, so we're back in Florida. This is the aunt's house. This is Lucy's aunt's house. We still don't know the relationship with Donnie. We know Donnie's name, but we don't know boyfriend, cousin, friend.
I feel like it's primo. I feel like they're cousins somehow or something like that because they're very familiar with each other.
Very familiar.
All three of them.
The aunt is bandaging him up because he got some cuts, and Lucy's like, I should have been there for you with you to help out. I was like, no, it's all right, I got this whole thing. And then all of a sudden we have someone ringing the doorbell. No biggie. But then when they start banging, there's an issue. Who does that? Who rings the doorbell and then shortly after starts banging on the door? Unless it's the police.
Desperate.
Exactly. Right. So she, understandable, she goes packing at the door. She got her gun, she got ready, she opens up, and it's Lincoln, and he is like, Luce, I made it. I see you. I'm here.
I found you, he said.
I found you. Look, I just danced around everything else except found
Yeah. Which means, and I thought up until this point during episode 2, especially when they found him, because he's the guy with the missing fingers and all this stuff, and they cut off those other dude's fingers. I thought they were working together. I thought they knew each other and everything, but clearly when he got to the door, he's like, I finally found you.
You see, now this is where the show gets interesting. This is exactly where the show gets interesting because we don't know
last
their connection.
Scene, though?
Last scene, it is it. Yeah, there you go. Last scene, because then it plants the seed and it's like, all right, now I got to wait till next week because from here on, it's weekly. All right, the 3 episodes are done, and then that's it. And they want to pull you in. So what's going on here? We'll just give our thoughts before we head out. I'm thinking that maybe this is some kind of online social club that she started. Maybe it was a blog site or something like that, where people were sharing information, tracking down all these people, these bad guys, and that Lincoln is a member of that crew. And I think that
was one of those kids, maybe.
He could be
one of the stolen kids.
Could be one of the stolen kids. All right, that's your theory. Mine's so then you know what? I'll say my part, and then you'll say and you think that's it.
Okay.
Right, so yeah, I think that he's part of that community, and he was doing his own thing and doing his vigilante work, trying to hunt things down. And his target was probably trying to get Duran. That's his whole thing. That's why he did the fingers in the box, and he's getting closer and trying to do the whole thing. Right? I think that's what's going on. But with everything happening, where he couldn't save the kids and all the other stuff going on with the police on him, he found the need to reach out and actually track Lucy down. And that's why he said it the way he did. He found you. It was like, oh, he's been tracking you down. And she doesn't look very thrilled to see him. It's like, whoa, you're not supposed to be here. You're an internet friend. So I think that's what's going to happen. And that makes me wonder if Donnie is just part of the crew in that way too. They just have the shared belief to hunt down the bad guys.
I like that.
Right, now your thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, not far from the mark. I think that some of what you just said probably is the case. I think there is some sort of group that they're sharing information. That it has to be, because the whole 3-finger thing, it's similar on both ends. So that has to be something that was shared in some way, and your website idea makes a great deal of sense. I just happen to think that he is Mexican. And I think, and he's the age that those kids would have been that the mother, Gabriella, tried to help. So I think that maybe he was a victim and was also sharing information on that website, and that's how they knew each other, and that's how they wound up on the stoop. Yeah,
Could be.
I think I'm just adding a level of intrigue to your idea.
Yeah. All right.
Basically.
And what about you people? What do you think? What do you think's happening? You think it's my
what
idea?
do you think?
You think it's Ken's idea? Is it your own idea? Do you like stop talking about this show? We don't like this show. How do you feel about all of this? Where's your vibe now? Think about it. If you've already consumed the 3 episodes, that's 3 hours. If you've heard us yapping about it, that's too many hours. So just put it together. Let us know. Like, subscribe, share with your buddies, and we will see you next week for episode 4, everybody. All right.
Deuces.
Thanks. Peace.